So I welcome all of you to Kalalgoda English Medium Retreat. So since due to the power cut, we are doing it here, and Dilhara is anxiously waiting for to give the questions, and so we will start with the written questions.
Thero answer Bante. There are 2 plus 3 questions.
Is 5?
2 questions and 3 little questions.
Okay.
So Avasarai Bante. When practicing Anapanasati, at one point I felt my entire body vibrating, but there was no definition as such, meaning the entire body felt like one. This passed after some time. At another moment, I realized there wasn't a part in this body that was not giving some kind of pain. It was as if the pain and pressure the body was dishing out was continuous. Is this the true nature of the body at all times?
Definitely. So this kind of a painful body, and we literally forget about it, and we have a lot of other distractions. So due to that, so our mind is not really interested about various itches and pains and all these things. But when we are more and more focus our attention towards the body, then we literally understand all these different pains constantly available. But the beautiful thing is now that very understanding slowly allow us to very much let go of the process. It is not that we have to suffer continuously. First of all, we need to understand some amount of suffering available. It is unavoidable. But on the other hand, what we need to understand is the body pain and all that suffering is unavoidable, true. But how about additional suffering that we add? That is the psychological suffering. That is the part that we have to understand, and we have to slowly let go of. Then only the body pain is available. So that pain is available even to the Buddha and the Arahants. That cannot be stopped. So we too will have that, and then we can accept that, acknowledge that, and just keep it as it is, without preparing another kind of a suffering. What Buddha mentioned as the second dart, adding that pain, mental, psychological suffering onto this physical suffering. That is what we need to try to do. Therefore, accepting, knowing that body has enough suffering is something. It is something that we can understand, and that very understanding help us to let go of it without too much attached to it, without very much preparing any kind of a conceit because of the body. Yeah. So anyway, we are continuing the answers, and if you need to participate or interrupt or have any doubts, please feel free to raise your hand. Yeah.
Are you all hearing?
When you said conceit, develop a conceit to the body when there is pain, what do you mean?
No, not pain. In general, suppose that I feel that I am really strong and I am tall or beautiful or whatever it is. So then we have, with respect to body, some amount of conceit or proud develop. So when we understand, okay, this body is nothing much, say it's a constant amount of suffering available, continuous little pains are available, and say various anatomical parts are available. So likewise, when we have some deeper understanding, so there is no way of having too much conceit. So that's what I mentioned. Yeah. It's not because of the pains, but because of beauty or the, say, maybe various reasons are there for us to become conceited, become proud. So that may reduce when we understand the reality of the body. Yeah.
This separating the body pain from like that, there's only one dart, then that is essentially something we experience when we meditate, isn't it? In daily life, invariably the other dart
coming, and we need to know that as well. True. We are getting this experience firsthand during the meditation. Kind of a body pain is there, but I can distantly observe it. So that is where I am training myself. But later, suppose I am at a bus or at my office or at wherever it is, then again pain happens, but as you said, maybe automatically I am adding something to it. So at that moment I have to be aware. Okay, I am adding something psychological, something mental to this existing pain, physical pain. So that I need to recognize. So then actually the practice has to be applied here. So learning or training has to happen during the retreat or wherever it is when we are doing our formal practice. But the application has to happen every time. Difficult.
Yeah, because here even if it's the worst pain, you don't
Feel.
flinch. You just can bear it and
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
But outside, you complain.
Definitely.
or-
Say you are at the fuel queue and at that time say someone is making a little something and then you feel painful. Maybe say someone hit or someone mistakenly did something, and by that time you already have some gathered sort of anxiety, gathered kind of say little bit of pressure. So at that time immediately the slightest thing is enough for you to get worse. And those are the areas we need to practically see whether I can apply whatever the knowledge, whatever the understanding I have gathered through my practice. Is it possible to practically apply everywhere? Yeah.
Second question. Most Venerable Bhante, walking meditation. I'm mindful of the sole of the feet touching the ground, but mostly I observe the thoughts which comes and go without my intervention. The thoughts are unrelated and I observe from a distance. I feel very relaxed, slightly sleepy, and my body sways from side to side. Sitting meditation.
Yeah, one moment. So sitting, that means walking is what we have mentioned. So basically, that's good. So if you are able to recognize various thoughts coming and going, and now you are not giving much importance to thoughts. So what we usually do is, these thoughts are coming and we consider, this is something important and I have to act according to it. This is my thought, this is my view, this is my idea. But when we are simply observing them, ultimately they become just mere thoughts. Have no value. Say like you are driving through a huge crowd or maybe a lot of vehicles. Many vehicles are there, different vehicles are there. But you don't need to really bother. If you are without making any accident, if you are simply going through. Similarly, various thoughts may come to your mind as we are sweeping through. So without giving any importance to them, if you merely understand, okay, they are just thoughts. That's a real, that's a kind of an eye-opening insight of the yogi. Then he can simply see how they come and go, simply pass by. And you are not much bothered there. You are not adding your stuff. They are coming due to various reasons, and you can simply notice them and let it go. Again another one come, notice it, and then let it go. Then you feel a lot of relaxed mind, and then maybe even complete absence of thoughts even can happen. That's why we are giving too much value to all the thoughts. This is something that we need to really practice. That's why learning these things are good, but practically applying, as she mentioned and said, during the day-to-day activities, during our day-to-day various incidents. So due to particular incident, various thoughts are coming now. Now who will be the next so blah blah blah. Mere thought. So if you can simply let it go and have kind of a peace of mind. Yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, then when we see something, that what we see, and this part, this is my adding to this. Then can sort of separate that.
Exactly. So if you can separate that,
my portion,
my additions, my constructions, my likes and dislikes.
Can see, this is what I am adding, and can stop.
So huge part is my addition.
Yeah.
My own perception.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful thing. If I just keep it as it is, not a devil, a thought. That's why when Buddha mentioning about the sankhara, so the analogy he is giving is kind of peeling out a banana trunk. Ultimately, nothing is there. We think if someone who doesn't know about the banana trunk, he probably think, okay, there is a kind of a hardcore meat and something. But when you are peeling it out, nothing there.
just letting it go, right?
Letting it go. And even say more and more you are observing the mind, so you may start to see thoughts separately. Now previously they come together now, then as a bundle. Then it's very difficult to separate. Then you feel it as a compact something. But later then one comes, another one comes, another one comes, another one comes. Now you can distinctly see each and every thought. Then you understand, okay, these are not, they are not, I mean, they are merely thoughts. So, I mean, assume the kind of a situation that you are simply staying fully conscious, no thoughts. That is possible. So that is the direction that we need to move forward. So that's what Buddha mentioned. So we are unnecessarily putting some mental suffering. Now there are 3 types of suffering Buddha mentioned. As we discussed the bodily pain. So that is unavoidable, what we call as a dukkha. And then we have the viparinama dukkha, which is happening because of the change. So we don't like change, and change might be, say, sometimes difficult, maybe we are getting old and all these things. So due to change, also some suffering is available. The last thing is the sankhara dukkha, that because of these additions, because of our own constructions, preparations, internally we do, that makes a lot of suffering. So that is completely in a way unnecessary. Sankhara dukkha is something completely unnecessary. Say Arahant, maybe when he is in the Nibbana state, say Sabba Sankhara Samatha, means complete calming down of all the Sankhara. All mental formations are now calmed down. What a bliss, isn't it? I mean, no additions, no construction, so he is simply experiencing the whole thing, kind of a peace. Because only the bodily pain and the other change, due to the other changes, may be unavoidable suffering may be there, but the additional psychological suffering not available. And whatever the psychological suffering has many areas. Say you as a person, you are preparing a person, and then suffering, and then you have a kind of a grudge. Because of that you may have suffering. Then you have too much attachment. Due to that you may have suffering. So many suffering, different suffering types are there. So when all these are not there, so then simply you have some bodily suffering, maybe due to heat and all these things, some amount of suffering. That's it.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah, I mean, just have to go through it. I mean, can't help. I mean, till we live, we have to go through it. So we have to bear it. We have to have some patience, because I mean, we are in a kind of a conscious world, very sensual world. So we have to go through that part. But how about avoiding our own creation of suffering? So that is what we need to avoid.
Okay. Sitting meditation. Observe the in and out breath, which is very subtle. As in the walking, I observe thoughts from a distance, but today there was only few thoughts. I observe the mind going to the emptiness and coming out with a jerk. But the mind doesn't go very deep into the emptiness. It is on the surface. I can hear sounds, feel sensations, pains and thoughts from a distance. Please advise me, Bhante. May Bhante attain Nirvana in this life itself.
May I know who has me?
Whose question is
Whose
this?
question
Bhante
is
would
this?
like to know so that we can explain a bit more directly to your
Okay, anyway, if he doesn't want to tell, then I can, it doesn't matter. So it's good. So basically, I mean, so at the beginning, say with some amount of concentration, we are experiencing the emptiness. Say that is how we have to do, and that's how normally it happens. Say you are meditating and you observe various maybe thoughts, maybe pains, feelings, etc. And then you are, without attaching to them, you start to let go of them, and by the time you have prepared some amount of a deep concentration. But ultimately mind let go of everything and mind become empty. Good. But later the point is we have to experience that, as the report mentioned, at the surface level. Not at the deep level, but at the surface level. Surface level in the sense without much of a concentration. So concentration is the kind of a say boundary, say kind of a wall that we are using to minimize intrusions coming through the thoughts. But later when we are doing the same thing without much concentration, then many thoughts may be coming. So that is where the real vipassana happens. So you recognize, okay, again thought come, so you understood it, and if there is no attachment, then it will simply go away. It's kind of say coming and then simply reflecting. You are in a kind of a cocoon. But later, certain thoughts may penetrate. You start even little bit of a construction. Then you may understand, okay, still some attachments are there, some kind of delusions are there, still mind is going through some construction, some sankharas are there. So that is how, that is how we need to understand, okay, with certain thoughts I have no problem, I can manage it. But certain other thoughts, still they are penetrating, still they have some impact. So slowly then even that we need to handle. Then that level of thoughts also we need to slowly handle. Then maybe you can handle that also. Still that another level still may be affecting. Just to give you an example, say you are at your home, say your daughter or son telling something, say something that not nice, but you can manage it. That's your son, no? Can manage it. And say your husband or wife telling something, can't manage. Okay. So, but later that also should be able to manage. Then okay, now your son telling something can manage, husband or wife telling something can manage. Say the neighboring woman telling something, can't manage. So later say even that can be managed. So likewise, so we are expanding our kind of boundaries. So ultimately we can, we should be able to. I'm not saying that I can do everything, but this is how that we need to progress. So slowly, so whatever the things happen, so we should be able to cope up with. So that endurance has to develop as we are developing ourselves. So that kind of endurance, coping up with the situation, has to be developed within ourselves. So that's a kind of a maturity that we are going through with our practice. Yeah. Yeah.
The way you deal with thoughts at each of these levels, it's pretty much the
Same.
way.
Pretty much the same. You can apply various techniques. Whatever you quickly remind, or you can simply be mindful and then it will fade away. Or you can simply see how they are coming and going. You simply see the impermanent characteristics. Or maybe you can simply even give a kind of an advice to yourself. Okay, it is not me, it is not mine. Kind of reminder. Likewise, many methods are available. So say if unknowingly if it get attached, then you simply remind yourself. You don't need to do it. Like you are advising a child. Likewise, many methods are available, and same techniques you have to apply at different levels. Yeah.
After practicing meditation and mindfulness in a very long time, I feel like upon the completion of first and second sessions, my brain is already tired and have no energy for evening and to focus. How do I overcome this tiredness and engage throughout the day? There are a few other questions.
No, actually, tiredness can happen due to various reasons. Say if you are applying too much energy, that also tires up. Say, is it the same previous question?
No.
This is a separate one, right? So now, say for example, we are walking. So you are doing some strenuous walking. So you are applying very strong kind of a concentration to each and every step and try to see everything, and mind is still struggling to go out, and it is kind of a struggle is there. So then it consumes a lot of energy, and that is one thing. Sometimes it is unnecessary. Say you are going simply walking mindfully. Doesn't matter. Let it go outside. But later it will slowly come. It has to be kind of a smooth transition. You can't forcefully retain the mind. So let it go out, and you simply watch later. Okay, and then slowly let it come. It's not quickly you drag it and pull it back to the situation. So it will be tiresome because you are unnecessarily generating kind of a, say, hate in yourself. You are very much like, say, condemning yourself, and you are blaming the mind. Something additionally you are adding.
Stressful.
Stressful. It will be more stressful. Say another thing is, now say you do sitting meditation. Sometimes, say when we are observing breathing, body know how to breathe. We don't need to do any kind of forceful breathing. If we do forceful breathing, it is tiresome. Actually, the yogi practically will learn this. He has to go through all these troubles. Then he may understand, okay, I don't need to apply too much of energy. Body know how to breathe. So let it breathe. Let me do a kind of a detached observation. So that is how we allow the bodily process to go on, and you are kind of separate, and you do a distant observation, distant investigation. So that doesn't consume energy because it's a natural process. No? Now, while breathing, you feel tired? You can't. Only if you have wheeze or something there. So likewise, slowly when we understand the proper balance, then it has to be very smooth. And rather than you feel tired, you feel energetic, you feel refreshed after the meditation session. So now, whoever writing this, just check whether you are putting too much energy. Yeah.
He is a beginner to meditation.
Yeah, no problem. That's right. Just slowly see whether you are putting too much energy. No need. And these say distractions are quite normal. So we can't tame the mind overnight. So slowly let it happen with time. It takes some time. Yeah.
It's the second part of the question, or second question. What could be the best strategy to apply if I want to make someone follow mindfulness practicing?
So first you practice, and then you can be an example, and you can show the benefits. So that's a kind of a silent sermon. Say, we can promote, we can say these are the advantages and blah blah things. And so a lot of such videos and all presentations and all different things are there nowadays, freely available. You can search, and a lot of things are available. You can promote it by telling, and these are now quite evident, and scientific evidences are there. Everything is there. But if you yourself practicing, then they may see kind of a behavioral change within yourself. So that is something very beautiful. Say, rather than me trying to motivate another one, while doing that, if you can do it, that's also fine. But when we ourselves practicing, and that makes ourselves calm, not quickly reacting, and say kind of a in a kind of a troublesome situation, you are able to manage yourself without panicking or something like that, then others may say, okay, this guy is somewhat calm now. So the others may notice it. Assume that you are a person who quickly jump out of a situation and trouble and talk and shout and all these things. That was your character. But later, after you start practicing, if considerable change happens within yourself, that is noticeable. So that is, I feel, it's a kind of a very good lesson for the others. Many are telling like that. I am not just imagining and telling you. Many yogis are telling this. I was like this, but there's a significant change has happened within me after this kind of a period. So it's very, it's not just one person, many evidences are there. So some considerable changes, noticeable changes are happening within themselves. So when it is happening and they genuinely telling it, and even not necessary to tell, the others are slowly noticing it, so that's a silent sermon. That's really show that it has a kind of an impact, positive impact. Yeah.
Can mindfulness make a person to be more selfish?
So at the beginning it appear like selfish, true. Say you mind your own business, and you are not too much putting your hand to everything, and you are not going to interrupt others, and you very much like become a little bit of introvert, true. But later you start I mean, even more than the others, you become kind of a source of maybe inspiration, source of say kind of a contact person, and you become a kind of a person who even advise others. So all these things are there. So now I'm just telling myself, say, I was a really sensitive character. I went through lot of suffering because of too much sensitivity, and suffered a lot during my young age and all these things. But slowly the practice helped me a lot. So then now whenever another person is going through the same thing, I can immediately understand. So he is in the same situation where I was. Then I can answer it not through imagination, by through own experience. Okay, this is what I went through. So you are also going through the same thing. But just trust me, just go through it. Something like that, you can through your own experience you can tell. So similarly, say another person also, when they are going through it, so kind of a behavioral changes are happening. They become kind of stronger, and they can, when we talk as a kind of a quality called resilience. Say when you even collapse, you can quickly get up. You can recover quickly than the others. So these things are there. Yeah.
That's the last one.
That's the last. So half an hour. Any more questions? Interesting. Today, while others are all in the queue, so you all are here.
Very well timed.
Sorry?
The retreat was very well timed. Otherwise, we would all we saw in the queue.
No, actually, another thing is now waiting is another property, another activity in our lives. Waiting, just waiting. Because sometimes things may not happen overnight. So we have to wait. What to do? That's the only option. If we are putting unnecessary pressure, unnecessary reactions, then the whole situation may spoil.
So we have to wait for the country to get better.
We also shouting and jumping and quarreling and all these things, another addition. So let it happen. Just calm down.
We are learning to wait.
We have to wait. Can't help. So that's why say this is a Vassa period. So we are, as monks, we go through the Vassa period. So I can remember that even I think during the last time I discussed that how Buddha went through that Veranja. There's nothing there, just the horse food. That's it. He didn't go out. He didn't ask. When Gallana actually wanted to get some delicious food from outside. No, just go through it. These are the situations strengthen us. Not everything. Now, say if you consider other countries, say especially the Western countries, they don't have the kind of an endurance we have. We as Sri Lankans, I don't know nowadays, the new generations don't have that much of. But see now, a lot of generations, we have a lot of endurance. We can bear things. A lot of suffering we can bear. Other people in Western countries, they don't have. They are quite very fragile. Even the slightest thing, they mentally collapse. They even go to depression and suicide and all these things. But we as Sri Lankans have that nature, so we can bear our hardships. So that is necessary as humans. So that is how we have to strengthen ourselves, not by quarreling and all and jumping and blaming and I don't think that would be the way to do. I'm not saying that everything that we need to accept and do something. At the same time, without suffering too much, just waiting. Now say you get old and have some problems, but you can't die, no? You have to wait. Isn't it? I'm just taking a practical example. Say I'm getting 70 years, 75 years. Now, I see that others are, say, helping me, and they also take some trouble to help me, looking after me. I can't heal myself. No, I have to wait.
It's a cycle, but
it's a cycle. Others may take an opportunity. To help through helping me. And by looking at me, what has happened to myself, they take another example. I become a kind of a messenger to them. So, you know, in Buddhism, Buddha talks about the angels. They are not the angels coming from outside. They are the angels available within us. Say the dying person, say elderly person, sick person, and they are the angels. So this is the life. So I mean, if we don't have kind of a proper idea, proper understanding about life, so we think, okay, I'm just going by the car, I open the door, go to the McDonald's and eating and coming back, going to the office, coming back. Is this the life? This is the life. I mean, they think, that's why, I mean, if you consider a foreign country, say a developed country, this is the kind of life that they have. Kind of a really artificial. I mean, we as humans, I mean, say you are just going through and say suddenly, say rain happen and then you go inside, or say jump to a pond or whatever. I mean, many things are there. So that in a way really, I mean, expands our horizons as humans. Rather than prototyping ourselves only to a very narrow path, having a lot of experiences, a lot of hardships, going through hardships. So that really makes up really, say, strong personalities. Now, even in the other countries, the people who have strong personalities, leaders, they really have gone through a lot of hardships. Not like they went through all the very soft kind of say education, everything happened smoothly. No, they went through a lot of hardships. Through hardships only they become proper leaders. So therefore we have to take things in a positive sense. Otherwise, I mean, internally we start suffering. I mean, it is not available, that is not available, this is not available. Every time we have something to complain. This should be like this should be like this. Many shoulds. Many shoulds, I mean. How can we, I mean, now if you go through Vipassana and now see you are looking at the body, you expect pain to disappear. If it is not disappearing, what to do? So you may change the posture. Even if it is not disappearing, you have to wait, you have to bear. So why can't we apply the same principle to the other situations? I mean, if you are now, we are observing sankhara, some conditioned phenomena within the body. So what is available outside? Is something different? Same sankhara. Very vulnerable. And you think something will happen, but completely different thing happen. You thought that he will be president. Someone else has become president. Sankhara, just sankhara. I mean, we can apply in that sense. Even what we observe through our meditation, applicable to every level. We don't need to think that, okay, my meditation is only limited to this body and my thought and my whatever the perceptions are, all these things. These are very, say, universal truths that we are trying to understand. It is applicable everywhere. Nothing we can assure, nothing we can guarantee. And whatever the things that you are experiencing, if you feel that it is non-governable, it is beyond my control, same thing apply outside. We are trying our best to control, I mean, use some insurance and all blah blah things and trying to have kind of a safety. Everything burst. This is life. I mean, that's why, I mean, welcome to sensual world. That's why, I mean, otherwise why we need to have kind of a desire to go out of the samsara? If we don't have proper understanding about the suffering, then we don't need to go out. We can enjoy life. I'm not telling that always you have to have kind of a depressed mood, but having some understanding, this is an imperfect world. There's a kind of a deep understanding, it's a kind of insight. So that's why, I mean, sometimes it's mentioned, and more you realize, so Buddha mentioned the Sammaditthi. The proper Sammaditthi is that he know whatever arising, just the suffering arise. Whatever passing away, suffering passing away. So realizing that makes you not suffer. So that is, well, sometimes people think, okay, Buddha always talking suffering. But realizing suffering, it makes you not to suffer. So you are calm, you are quiet, you are happy. You don't bother about what is happening in the outside. I mean, you can maintain yourself calm, serene, while the others are burning. So these are the things that we need to learn during the troublesome time. So how you keep silent, or how you be peaceful while the outside is not peaceful, how the outside is burning. No point of adding the same kind of burning within yourself, no. So while others are burning, how you can avoid that. You can internally feel calm, internally feel happy. Maybe not be happy, maybe at least neutral or equanimous. These are the areas that we need to learn how these troublesome situations help me to develop my inner qualities. We can take an opportunity to do that. Yeah. So another wave of COVID is coming. Another something is coming. So that's why Bhante Dhammajiva is telling in a more harsh manner. I mean, these troubles are the ones actually strengthen us spiritually. Otherwise, if we think everything happens more smoothly, we never grow.
And you always expect that it to be like the past.
Compare, okay.
Comparing.
It was like this before, now it is not like that. Yeah. Just face and just open up ourselves, just go through it. And I think that's why, I mean, even during the Buddha's time, same. I mean, if we think that during the Buddha's time everything was so beautiful, everyone was coming and paying respect to him, it's a kind of a wonderful country. No.
But if we tell somebody like that, they say they are very selfish. Why don't you contribute?
That's the thing. So that's why, I mean, they want us also to be unhappy and say burning, stressful. Any advantage?
What's your advice, Bhante, on, like, as she said, when there's pressure to take part in...
Now say for example this. Now, you know, King Ajasa. So he went through whole battles and he murdered his father. He becomes fully kind of what you call morally anxious, moral anxiety. So a lot of suffering is going on. Now, if he is expecting everyone, all his ministers, all the recluses and all the leaders, all to become someone like that, that is not the proper way, no? I mean, he understood, okay, he's asking, where can I get some solace, where can I get some refuge? So many people are telling many things. Okay, he visit, Shastrun, the six kind of other say leaders are there. So he went through, but couldn't get any kind of refuge. Then he ultimately went to Buddha. Buddha was calm, and Buddha, he's asking really beautiful questions of her, and Buddha delivering a huge, long discourse, what you call Samanya Pala Sutta. Ultimately he was fully calm, fully. Even Buddha mentioned, if he hadn't murdered killed his father, he would become a Sotapanna. So that level he has developed. So Buddha and the Sangha was there to give an example. They were not burning. That's why we have to have some kind of an alternatives available in the society. Say, while all others are quarreling and harming and struggling, so there should be another alternative solution available in the country. Then they may look at how they are doing it. Then the question is then, while we are all are burning with all the problems in the country, these people are just laughing. I don't have nothing. Just they are calm and they are peaceful. How? Some reason should be there. No? So then they come and tell you. They may try to check you, telling, why don't you come and quarrel and struggle and all these things. But if you are giving a kind of an example, I think they also may look at it. They also may think and how these people are doing it. While all others are burning, so how they behave very calm, quiet, without nothing has happened. I think that kind of an example would be more valuable than me going and telling and preaching and all these things. So,
I think I don't am sorry if I think like this. I think 100 days, all 24 hours, द्वेष सहगत situation. That now they can't stop because
ඒකමයි දාන්නේ. ඒකමයි කවන්නේ.
But that's what I can see. If they even want to stop, they can't stop because there's some
crowded. Mind is very much like obsessed with hate. Obsessed with hate.
Because even we overthinking about something 1 or 2 days, it's a different situation.
No, it's completely harmful. Extremely harmful. I mean, what happened to internally to ourselves? I mean, so you start to burn and hate, and that is what we are growing, no? And completely harmful, really harmful. That's what I mean. We need to, as much as possible, keep them aside.
But it's a bit hard also because
there are a lot of comedy films are there. Just be happy. I mean, by you being angry, there is no.
But just to give a little bit of support.
Now, after giving support, what has happened?
Now, for example, if I went for Dinesha's retreat to Nissarana, I would have been 100% there. No phones, nothing at all. But by being cancelled, I was telling Ane that Devi was going to look after us, encourage us. 100% I was at the other galaya. Not that 100%, but walked there and to be part of it, just to support, to show the other party that what they are doing is wrong.
You should have stayed at home and meditated. You were supposed to be at least.
Absolutely. So unfortunately, the Maria took over and did the retreat at Nissarana.
in all the country.
No, I mean, even say if you have everything, then you go to the other extreme. Say you have abundance of things and you become too much luxurious, and that's another extreme. I mean, not having things and you do struggle for that, it's another extreme. So we need to understand both extremes. Say if you consider a completely developed country, say they have nothing and just a blah blah blah, then everything's available. So you simply have to type to the phone, you order things and everything's available to you. Then you have no problem. But still, why they mentally suffer? Now, I mean, if we think as Sri Lankans, all developed countries, say they have money, dollars are there, enough dollars are there, many cars are there, so many things are there. Why then mental hospitals this much? Every time they have to be happy. So we are always yearning for that, but they are not happy. Then why are they doing meditation? Why they are finding out a lot of things in mindfulness development and say mindfulness based stress reduction, NBSR in USA. For why? Number 1 country. They don't need can't have any stress
Number 1 in guns also.
Yeah, one guns. So I mean, people will find something. They need excitement. They need something to worry. That's our mentality. They need something to worry. They need something to say argue, battle. If they don't have anything, at least they find a computer game and do it. Video game and do it. That's what the kids are doing, no? If there is no war in the country, at least they want that is a video game. So that is our human nature. So we are born like animals. The animal instincts are there within ourselves. Even you have everything satisfied, still those animal instincts are operating. So those are the things that we need to slowly understand. I mean, to overcome all these things, how to recognize these instincts, inner traits in ourselves. So and then slowly let them go. And that's what Vipassana, no? Say, once you understand, develop mindfulness, say you come to a situation, say where you have no attachments. But still you may understand, okay, some inner traits are there. Still I get angry, I get lustful, I get jealous. So some tendencies are still operating within me. So now they have to let go. I have to cure them. I have to heal them. So till I have them, I mean, I am vulnerable. Therefore, I mean, it's a kind of an opportunity. So I mean, I feel that it's a kind of a say we are going through some sort of situations for kind of a spiritual maturity. Not just for mere suffering, but for us to have some understanding about life in general. So it is not that we go out of the country and enjoy to another country, and rather than doing that, just go through it and endure things, and then that makes you more kind of a strengthened, more strong character. Yeah.
Bhante, I just want to get some view from you about what you have spoken little ago. This about the Vanaya incident. Now, most of us try to interpret that as one of the sins Buddha had, and because of that he had to suffer like that.
Now, what we go through is, if it is the same thing,
maybe that
we have to patiently endure it, rather than adding things, adding another karma. Definitely, yeah. I mean, assume that we all were kings in the past life, and we went through something that we suppress citizens and all these things. Now, as citizens, suppose now we are going through it. Now, rather than adding another karma, okay, just wait. Okay, this is something I did.
Let it pass away.
Let it pass away. Now, if suppose that huge world war happens in the outside, at least here we are safe. See, we can breathe still now. Even in the now Ukraine and all, they can't even breathe. Yeah.
That's gone to problem has gone to other Europe countries.
Europe also now they can't even live. I mean, no gas and energy, and huge trouble is going on. It's a kind of a brink of the collapse. Huh? Sorry?
Yeah, they don't have even polka to do.
Polka to අපේ polka to වල දෙයක් අත් තියෙනවා. ඒකනේ. දර ගැලක් හරි දාලා මේ ලිපි පත්තු කරගන්න. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we have to look at the other side also, rather than what we don't have, what we have as human beings, as still what we have. Okay, we have kind of a good company, my friends are there, other practitioners are there, Dhamma is available, say good environment is available, say in the morning when I wake up, say some sunshine is available, good breeze is available, birds are chirping. I mean, these are something to be appreciated. I mean, we all neglect them now. I mean, these are very little things really makes us happy. More you become sensitive, you are mindful. You don't need a lot of things to be happy. You don't need a lot of luxurious things to be happy. Even minor things makes you happy. Sometimes, these little monkeys, they come to my kuti. I just speak with them, and they are really playful. I mean, really, I feel really like my friends, and they visiting me, and they trying to chat with me, and they jump here and there, and all. Really interesting. I mean, they are really funny fellows. I mean, really.
Watch them all the time.
Yeah. I mean, they are really funny. I mean, then they come, they jump, and they quarrel, they jump, and many things are there. If I do something like this, they also do like this. Really interesting characters.
That's the best attraction.
Little things we need to find out how we can be happy with little things. It's not that always we need to expect the best things, but little things makes you really happy. I think I can't remember the name. I think Munindra or someone. So somebody has asked from him, why are you meditating? He's a great teacher. Whoever someone say he's a great teacher, and someone is coming to take a kind of an interview and asking a kind of a question, why are you meditating? What's the benefit of meditation? And you may expect kind of a very, say, sophisticated philosophical answer. But he says, in the morning when I see this wildflower, I can simply enjoy it. Then that's why I am meditating. You can imagine, I mean, these are the little things. I mean, you become part of the nature, part of the environment, and you are simply living harmoniously. There is no, you don't feel lonely even though you are alone. So likewise, these are little things that you are adding through meditation. So slowly, if we can do that, you know, not asking so many things, you can be happy. That's why I mean, say kind of forest monks. So they are simply in the forest, simply living say one meal. Nothing is there, no, but quite happy. So I mean, even the others say, I mean, as lay people. So you, when you are putting yourself to the spiritual practice, so you don't expect so many things. You can, while be at home, you can be happy through little things. These are the other areas that we can use our meditation, our practice, just to enjoy. Not that we have to always complain, but rather just having enough things. Many things are there. I mean, I'm not worried about what I don't have, but I have many things. Interesting.
I mean, this karma is the previous experience, is it? Huh?
Previous actions.
Yeah, previous actions. Now, Prince Siddhartha didn't have the experience of seeing a sick person, tapasa, or all those things. So that was the first sight. Now, for if we see, it becomes a karma. Seeing a monk or seeing a
Dead person.
Now, how is the current situation in Prince Siddhartha? That did he take it as just a
lesson? He taken it as a lesson, no? As a messenger. So he understood the way of life through these messages, through these messengers. Say an old person, sick person, dead person, and the monk. So they are giving us kind of a, say, cross sections of our life. So he took it more seriously. So that is, I mean, when we are in our, say, prime age, so we don't consider these things. So I mean, I am enjoying, I am more indulging with so much of pleasures. So that, I mean, then we can't even think about these things. So while he is indulging sensual pleasures, so all of a sudden when these things are striking, all of a sudden he may have kind of a jerk. Okay, this is also possible.
Now, does that happen to be a karma again? Will it make a karma as a layperson during that? Would it have become a karma seeing this?
Anything can become a karma. Say if you intentionally involve and say you now go more compassionately to that. Suppose he has seen a sick person. Now you feel more compassionate to him and you go towards him and you find a good doctor and you are trying to recover him and all sort of things. Possible, no? So then you can accumulate karma. Any incident we can use to accumulate karma. On the other hand, we can take more differently, from a different angle. We can learn from that incident, think about it more wisely. That's also possible.
The little time?
Yeah.
So, what is this Suska Vipassana?
So that is where, I mean, you are not taking anything of samatha. You purely do vipassana from the beginning, trying to do vipassana. Not doing, no, trying to do vipassana from the beginning without having any kind of a support of samatha. Samatha means tranquil meditation. I mean, very much like, say, even in the Mahasi tradition, you can do it. Say, from the beginning, you have to do whatever the noting. Say, looking, taking, opening. Like that, you have to do the contemplations again and again, very tiresome. That is also available. But what we usually do is kind of a combine. Say, you do observation. At the beginning, we also use a little bit of this noticing. But they have gone to the extreme kind of thing. Each and every activity they have to very much like note. But here, I mean, we are not doing that. Only the, say, activities that we do, say, breathing, rising and falling and all these things, and maybe walking. You do the noting, and later when fair amount of concentration is built up, you even discard noting and you do a silent observation. That is more calming and more the yogi feel more relaxed. So he start to enjoy kind of a calm mind, relaxed, silent mind. I mean, you discard noting altogether at a one level. So samatha and vipassana, when combined together, it's more kind of a smooth path. Yeah. Yes.
Please don't laugh.
You told me not to laugh and you are laughing.
Some mornings, not all mornings.
Right.
When I go to brush my teeth in the morning, I can see the towel behind me hanging daily, and I feel like I'm also like towel and me, no difference like. Right? It's some funny thing.
No, actually, you and towel now, and you are considering your body and towel now, basically.
Yeah.
So it's very true.
Yeah.
It's
Scientifically, both are reflections.
Same.
But feeling that day is so funny. When you start to look at the body more like elements, say from a different angle, so that's the same thing that Buddha mentioned. Okay, internal elements and our external elements, same elements, no difference. So we create internally. We create. Okay, this is my body. I am pretty. I am blah blah. And this just the say cup. No value. But if you consider seriously, here also animals, here also animals. Sometimes when I Dhamma sermons on TV, sometimes the robe of the priest and the cushion like the same color. I see like that, I feel like it's sorry, that's like some piece of cardboard like the thickest and no difference. That's the same color, sometimes the robe and the cushion.